Hi guys, and welcome to this cab to cab route learning video. In today's video we'll be driving 150-247 and 150-249 for around 11 miles all the way to Exeter St Davids. We'll be working 2 Tango 23, which is the 1457 off of Exmouth in real life, calling it Lympstone Village, Topsham, Newcourt, Digby and Sowton, Exeter Central and Exeter St Davids on today's run. We'll now just get ourselves keyed in and set up the cab. We'll then register our train with GSMR. 2 Tango 23 is our head code, with Echo Juliet 28 being our signal number. And just a note, just before departure, in real life we would contact the signaller requesting permission to depart Exmouth for Topsham. So on departure from Exmouth now, our starting speed limit is around 50 miles an hour on the single line towards Topsham. On approach now to our first station stop on this service, which is Lympstone Village. We're now just departing Lympstone Village now. Note that there is a very small 1 in 122 gradient out of the station, making starting in poor weather a little slippy. We're now just passing one of the 2 request stops on the branch, which is Limestone Commando. This is a dedicated station for the Commando's training camp, just on our right hand side. Also now just on approach to the other request stop on the branch, which is Exeter. Now approaching Echo Juliet 28's repeater, with about 0.7 of a mile to go until Topsham station. Now on approach to Echo Juliet 28 just outside Topsham. Note that line speed drops to 25 miles an hour for the station, with no Morpeth for this. Now arriving into platform number 2 at Topsham now. This is normally where a service would get passed by another service train on the branch. Note that our starting signal Echo Juliet 26 is a 2-aspect signal. Now for this to show proceed, the entire single line section towards Exmouth Junction must be clear. Now departing Topsham, we cross over Topsham level crossing just onto the single line section once again to Exmouth Junction. Line speed then increasing to 50 miles an hour for around 0.1 of a mile as a result of the small curve. And then at Denver Road Bridge, our line speed now increases to 60 miles an hour, all the way up until Exmouth Junction, where we have around a mile until our next station stop, which is Newcourt. Gradient now increasing uphill at 1 in 105 up until Newcourt station. This does allow us to have a relatively fast approach into the station. Departing Newcourt now, where the gradient now increases to 1 in 82 for a quarter of a mile. Once again, this can be a rather slippy start in poor weather conditions. Gradient now easing between 1 in 220 and 1 in 253 on approach to Digby and Sowton, a station mainly known for serving the local rugby ground and can be very busy on a match day. Departing Digby and Sowton now. Gradient now rising to 1 in 128, which again can cause some slippery starts for about half a mile. Gradient now descending to 1 in 288 for 0.2 of a mile before descending once more to 1 in 102. With now a mile to go until we're off the branch, the gradient now increases to 1 in 101 for around a mile up until Exmouth Junction. In the distance we can see Echo Juliet 20's repeater and Polso Bridge Station. On approach to Echo Juliet 20 now, which protects the exit from the branch at Exmouth Junction. Signal now stepping up to a single yellow there. We now have a 40-mile-an-hour PSR as we join the down Waterloo towards Exeter Central. Line speed now increasing to 70 miles an hour with a 30 mile an hour morpeth for the PSR at Echo 310. Bear in mind now that we have a falling 1 in 100 gradient all the way down to Exeter Central. On approach to Exeter Central now, where our line speed now decreases to 30 miles an hour with a 25 mile an hour morpeth and a subsequent 15 mile an hour morpeth at Echo 312. On departure from Exeter Central now, we can visually see our gradient descending at 1 in 37, which is one of the steepest gradients on the network. This is where line speed drops to 25 miles an hour upon entering St Davids Tunnel. And then in the distance there we can see Echo 335, which line speed then drops to 15 mile an hour on the approach to Exeter St Davids.